Hi boys and girls. For math today we're going to continue to work on adding doubles. And if you see behind me, I have our doubles facts here. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 4 plus 4 is 8, 5 plus 5 is 10, 6 plus 6 is 12, 7 plus 7 is 14, 8 plus 8 is 16, 9 plus 9 is 18. 10 plus 10 is 20, and I added 2 more because these are going to be useful for you to know as well. 11 plus 11 is 22, and 12 plus 12 is 24. Now, the tricky bit that we're going to be learning today is whenever we are really close to something like 5 plus 5, but we need to add 1 more. So if it was 5 plus 6, it's easy to know what 5 plus 5 is, but if we think about 5 plus 6, that might seem a little bit trickier. So what you can do is remember what 5 plus 5 is, and then say, well, 6 is 1 more, so what's 1 more than 5 plus 5? If 5 plus 5 is 10, 1 more is 11, so 5 plus 6 is 11. So we're going to be working on doing adding that way, where you remember what these math facts are to help you figure out something that's just a really close but just a tiny bit different. So I'm going to show you an exercise that we can do together and something that you can practice at home that's really simple for you to practice adding this way. So I'm going to turn my camera around and show you my desk right here. All right, so as you can see, I have a whiteboard and a marker. This is easy for me. If you don't have a whiteboard and marker, you can just use a regular piece of paper and a pencil. I got a sheet of regular white paper and I drew 2 tens frames on them to help me with my adding facts today. And I have paper clips of 2 different colors. You can use anything you want. You can use pennies and dimes, you can use gummy bears and Skittles, you can use those cute little erasers that you get from like from the Dollar Tree. You can use rocks that you find outside. Really, guys, you can get creative and use whatever manipulatives you have around your house. I chose to use some paper clips. So to practice first today, we're going to do, like we just said, like I just gave you the example, 5 plus 6 equals what? I don't know what 5 plus 6 is, I might say to myself, but I do know what 5 plus 5 is, and 5 plus 5 is 10. When I look at 6, I know that's 1 more than 5. So I can write it like this. I can write 5 plus 5 plus 1 more equals what? Well, if I know 5 plus 5, 5 plus 5 is 10, and I add 1 more to 10, that's going to be 11. So let's try it on our tens frame here. If I have my first number is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to add 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I need to do 1 more, so I'm going to add 1 more here. So this whole tens frame is filled up, so I know this is 10. So I can go 10, 11. My answer is 11. All right, let's try 1 more. Let me go ahead and erase this. Here, let me use, this might work better. Okay, so let's try 4 plus 5. Equals what? I don't know. Okay, so if you think about your math facts, we have 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 5 plus, well, I think that 4 plus 4 is going to be closest to this one. Okay, but first, let's break it down. 4 plus, and I can take my 5 and I can say 5 is the same as 4 plus 1. This arrow right here helps me to remember that 4 plus 1 came from my 5. So 4 plus 4 plus 1 is going to be my answer. Now I know what 4 plus 4 is. What is 4 plus 4? 4 plus 4 is 8. And then I have one more, so I'm going to bring it down. And it's really easy to add 1 to a number. It's just the next number up. What's 8 plus 1? That's 9. So let's try it on our tens frames here. I'm going to put my blue back with my blue and my yellow back with my yellow. Okay, so 4 plus 5, and we changed that to 4 plus 4 plus 1 because I know that 4 plus 1 is the same as 5, and it's easy for me to do 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, and I'm going to take my 1 and I'm going to bring it down to meet my 8. 8 plus 1 equals 9. So let me do my 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me do my next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to add my 1. So I'll make that one the blue one. So if we know that 4 plus 4 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's what we got here. All right, I think that we should do one more. And I know that this seems a little bit like a lot of work, and it seems a kind of like, why can't we just add up from our biggest number, like when we put one number in our head and we put the other number on our hands? And that works too, but this way is also going to be a way that you can do math really quickly in your head without having to count up. There's all different sorts of ways to do math. It doesn't have to be one way. So this is another way that's going to help you, help some of you do math quickly in your head. Okay, if I think about my math facts, I got a 6 and a 7 here. So I know that 6 plus 6 is going to be my adding double that's going to help me here. So I'm going to go ahead and write my 6 plus 6. But my 7, I know that 6 plus 1 more is going to equal my 7 right here. So I'm changing my 6 plus 7 to a 6 plus 6 because I know that's 12. And then I'm going to add my 1 that I took from the 7 to make 6 plus 1. So 6 plus 7 turns into 6 plus 6 plus 1 because that'll be easier for me to do in my head. So 6 plus 6, let's go ahead and put those two together. We know that we should be memorizing our adding doubles. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus I need to bring down my 1. What's 1 more than 12? That's 13. So 6 plus 7 is 13. If I think I know 6 plus 6 is 12, then I need 1 more to get to 7. 12 plus 1 more is 13. So let's try it on our tens frames here. I'm going to go ahead and put my 6 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to put my next 6 on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then my 1 is going to be yellow. So let me add these all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, 6 plus 6 was 12. Then I added my 1 more, 13. And that's what we got on our board here, 13. Okay, so if you have something like these things that you can practice with at home, with breaking down where it's almost quite to a double, but you can break it up into something where you can see the double, the adding doubles in the math problem, and then you just add the 1. So let's go ahead and look at our worksheet for today. And we're going to use our tens frames too to help us out. Okay, so on our worksheet today it says think of the double fact for the smaller addend Add one more to find the sum for the near double. So just like we were doing on our board, we're going to be doing it here too, and we have some pictures to help us out. Think of the double fact to complete the near double fact. Here we go, you'll be able to see it better that way. So number 1 says 5 plus 6 equals something. Well, let me think. Here's that word think. 5 plus 6. Well, I know that 6 breaks up into 5 and 1. So when I look here, I can see a double. I can see a 5 plus 5. I know what that is. 5 plus 5 is 10. Then I add one more, and 10 plus one more is 11. And that's how simple it is. Let's try the next one. 7 plus 8, and I have a picture here of 7, pause, and 8 pause. So let me think. I know 7 plus 8. I know that 8 can break up into 7, because I want a double. I want to make sure I make a double pair. 7 and 1 makes 8. So if I think back to my doubles, I would say 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus one more is 15. Oh, we want to make sure we put our answer here too. Let's go back and make sure we put our 11 up here with our 5 plus 6. Okay, so there we go. Let's go down to 3 and 4. Complete the double fact and then use it to complete the near double fact. So here's our double. We got 2 8s. And then we have an 8 and a 9. That's very near to a double. So let's do our double first. What is 8 plus 8? 16. We should know that really quick. So if I have 8 plus 8 is 16, then what's 8 plus 9? That's going to be one more, right? 9 is just one more than 8. You got an 8 here and an 8 here. You got an 8 and a 9. That's only one more. So what's one more than 16? 17. Okay, that's how our doubles help us to figure out a near double. All right, what's 6 plus 6? That's 12. So what's 6 plus 7? One more. That's going to be 13. Okay, let's go to number 5, our word problem. Draw squares to picture the story. Complete the sentences. So we're doing two things. We're drawing squares and we're completing the sentences. Chloe counted 6 bears rolling in the grass at the zoo. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop at that period and do the first thing I see. I see 6 bears rolling in the grass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to put my 6 right there. Now I can read my next sentence. She counted 1 more than 6 bears sleeping on the rocks. So what's 1 more than 6? 7. So how many bears am I going to draw sleeping on the rocks? 7. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bears on the rocks. And I'm going to write my 7 in the next square. Then it says, how many bears did Chloe count in all? In all means to add, and we do have a plus sign there. So if I look, I can count my squares. That will give me my answer. But I won't always have squares there, so I'm going to break it up like we've been doing up at the top of the page. I'm going to say, well, I know what 6 plus 6 is. 6 plus 6 is 12. So what's 6 plus 7? What's 1 more than 12? That's going to be 13. You could also picture it like this. 7 turns into 6 plus 1. And then I'll add my 6 that's left. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Chloe counted 13 bears. All right, let's turn to the back. These are just some addition problems. And if you look at the cloud here, it says, what addition strategies did you use? You can use whatever strategy is going to help you to answer these because everybody is a little different. You can use the method where you put the bigger number in your head and you put the smaller number in your fingers and you count up. You can use your number line. You start at the first number and you make jumps with your second number, and whatever number you land on, that's going to be your answer. You have doubles in here too, and you have near doubles in here too. So you can use what we just learned about adding near doubles as well. And then you have a word problem. Chris saw 5 turtles sitting on a log. He also saw 6 turtles swimming. How many turtles did Chris see? So you're going to add your 5 and your 6 and draw a picture, because it says draw dots to picture the story. You'll draw a picture out here that's going to help you add those together. And the bottom is a time to review. You're just going to tell me how many paper clips long the turtle is and how many paper clips tall the turtle is. All right, guys. Well, that was our first lesson on adding near doubles. It's a different way to think about it, but you can take your time and you can try different things and figure it out. But you're doing awesome. So I'll see you next time for math.